Darth Vader has been dead since Return of the Jedi hit theaters in 1983. Do I need to say spoiler alert for that? That death has made him more powerful than we could possibly have imagined, because you can't keep a good license down, not when there are so many more stories to tell about the deliciously evil things he did while he was alive, and fans just can't get enough of sequels and prequels. His first action figure hit in 1977, and since then there have been hundreds. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and these are the 10 best Darth Vader action figures. Number 10, 2015 Hasbro The Force Awakens Collection Star Wars Rebels Darth Vader. There's no denying that 5 points of articulation is where Star Wars figures and pretty much the entire action figure industry started. Any 5 POA Star Wars figure is going to feel like homage to that tradition, the foundation which this great plastic empire is built upon. And in this case, the stylized look of Vader's helmet recalls the early Ralph McQuarrie conceptual designs which are influencing the current Star Wars productions from Rebels and Rogue One through The Force Awakens and Episode 8, Death of the First of the Last of the Jedi, or Star Wars DOTFOTLOTJ. Number 9, 2015 Jakks Colossal 48.5-inch Darth Vader. With a fabric cape and real metal chain, motion-activated audio sampled directly from the films, and over 4 feet tall, this is the insane daydream of a caffeine-infused 10-year-old come to life. It's tall enough to ride most roller coasters, the motion sensor has 2 settings, friend or foe, and it's still got 5 points of articulation. And if you're like me, you've been watching these Jakks giant action figures getting bigger and bigger every year and thinking, hold off, just one more year and there'll be actual 1:1 scale. It's inevitable. Number 8, 1977 Kenner Darth Vader. On the surface, this is not a good figure. Misshapen face, vinyl wraparound cape. It's not a cape. Is it a long vest? I don't know what to call it. It's not a coat. It doesn't have sleeves. What do you call a long coat with no sleeves? Whatever it is, he's got one of those. The guy in the movie wasn't wearing one. It was definitely a cape in the movie. Lightsaber housed in his arm, 5 POA, yeah. But he sat on the throne for 17 years as the only Darth Vader figure in 3 3/4-inch scale, going up against every Luke figure that got released. Every Luke with improved sculpting and accessories and cloth goods time after time. There was this Vader with his vinyl sleeveless coat standing strong. So pay the king his dues, he's earned it. Number 7, 2012 Vintage Collection Darth Vader. If there was an absolutely pure 3 3/4-inch successor to the rightful throne of misshapen-faced Vader, it's this figure. His helmet is not removable, even though removable helmets became standard for Vader figures after 1998's Power of the Force 2 Vader with removable helmet. But at this scale, it's really difficult to pull off, pun intended, without either a tiny little head or an oversized helmet. The original Kenner figure couldn't take off that helmet, and neither can this one. And he's even got the red eye lenses like we see in the original film pre-special edition and at the end of Revenge of the Sith as the helmet is lowered onto his head. Cloth cape and skirt, ball and socket hips, gloss and matte finishes. He looks great and poses great, even if the proportions are off a smidge. Number 6, 2007 30th Anniversary Collection McQuarrie Concept Series. So yeah, even though there was a time when Lucas told McQuarrie that he liked his designs, but he didn't like his designs. The designers who followed him would be very kind to his original concepts, embracing them wholeheartedly. Hasbro finally gave McQuarrie his due in 2007 with an entire line of figures pulled from his original designs. This particular figure actually comes with 2 different McQuarrie-inspired heads, a simpler blue lightsaber, and Vader is even packing a blaster on his hip and a cape straight out of Wayne Enterprises. But who wore it better? Number 5, 2015 Square Enix Star Wars variant Play Arts Kai Darth Vader. It's 11 inches tall, so it doesn't really fit with your extensive 3 3/4-inch or 6-inch collections. It's also an import and crazy expensive. That said, it's a heavily modern, heavily stylized version of Darth Vader with Batman's cape. Highly posable with ratcheting joints, multiple handsets, and 2 different lightsabers, one with a fantastic swooshing effect that makes an already dynamic figure even more dynamic. He's big and buff and would be the toughest looking Vader in your collection without even moving. Number 4, 2014 Bandai Movie Realization Samurai Darth Vader. 7 inches tall and not even a little bit subtle about the design inspirations hinted at in the original Darth Vader costume. Anyone can look at the original Vader suit and see the influence of samurai armor, most notably the shape of the helmet or kabuto, and his horrible face mask, not unlike the mempo face armor worn by samurai that occasionally took the form of demons or evil spirits. And he's a force-focused Bushido-style laser sword fighter. This version makes no attempt to hide that. It's not the most posable figure, but there is nothing else like it from a visual standpoint in any scale. It's a wonderful piece of posable art and still feels true to the original intent of the design. Number 3, 2008 Legacy Collection Darth Vader. If you're going to recreate the full dramatic unmasking of Darth Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi, you're going to need a 2-piece helmet, and at 3 3/4 inches, that is rare. But Hasbro pulled it off with the Legacy Collection piece, which is a 3-piece helmet if you take his head off and slip off the bottom part of the helmet.
Impressive.
Cloth cape and long sleeveless coat. The only real drawback of this figure is the lack of a ball joint in his hips, which means he can only move his legs forward and backward with no side to side, no strafing for this Vader. Number 2, 2014 3 3/4 inch Black Series. It's got everything the Legacy figure has, but makes a few aesthetic changes to satisfy me. Ball and socket hips allowing for more posability, sculpted upper portion of his long sleeveless coat, sculpted chain instead of that piece of thread that never lays flat, and a non-removable helmet that is more correctly proportioned with an improved sculpt. He also comes with an ignited and a non-ignited lightsaber, even though the non-ignited still can't be stored on his belt. And at number 1, 2015 Mafex Darth Vader. King of the 6-inch scale, he features the best factory painted head sculpt at this scale currently available on the market, and I cannot stress how important it is that figures come pre-painted. Gloss and matte finishes, multiple handsets, posable cloth cape, double jointed everything, removable helmet crest with alternate Anakin head, lightsaber with removable blade, hilt that can be stored on his belt. What else do you want? The only thing that could possibly be better than this Vader at this scale is if Mafex were somehow able to recognize that even as awesome as it is, there's always room for improvement, and revisited the design with an improved figure due out in 2017, which I can safely declare will take over the number 1 spot at that time, leaving this figure, the acknowledged current number 1 best Darth Vader, not even on the list. That's the top 10 Darth Vader action figures, hundreds of figures over the course of 40 years. If this pace continues, the Earth's atmosphere will be 8% Darth Vader action figures. In the year 2047, you'll be able to see the pile from space. Thanks for watching. Please like this video. Please subscribe to our channel. Please share this video with everyone following you on Twitter, and let us know in the comments below what we missed. I know these lists can be subjective based on personal experience and personal aesthetics, but I swear if anyone mentions that Walgreens exclusive Emperor's Wrath figure, you're going to get a very terse response from me in the comments. Tread lightly.
So threatening. Just like Darth Vader. Got